Thanks, Sherry, for joining me today.
Hello.
I know you're
Hi.
taking your time out, and I really appreciate it.
Oh, no
So,
problem.
just cutting through the chase, where were you before you joined the 10-day fat loss challenge? Where were you?
I, I joined it because I've worked out with you before, and I have so much admiration for you and respect for you. I love working out with you. Your spirit inspires me. Even before I joined with you, I signed up online and got your text messages and your emails, and I was like, oh my God, this guy is so inspiring. I may not join right now, but I'm going to continue to get all his emails because I love them. They're very spiritual and motivational, and I love them.
Thank
So honestly, your spirit has a lot to do with this, my commitment. I was in a place where I had been to the doctor because I was, had my physical. I was extremely overweight. I was lethargic. I was unmotivated. I felt miserable. I was really, truly miserable. But I got shocking news that my cholesterol was off the charts. And I kind of dieted for 2 weeks, and then I was like, oh, whatever. And then your 10-day challenge came up. And I went back to the doctor and tested my cholesterol, and it was even higher. So when your 10-day challenge came, I was like, let me do this because I have to get control of my life. And basically, when you say, where was I had lost complete control of my entire life. My boyfriend's like, you want some cheesecake? Well, sure. Let's go eat some ribs. Well, okay. Like I was powerless, completely powerless over my choices. So that's where I was at. And I was hoping your 10-day challenge would, help me out. And it did. It really did.
And I know a long time ago we did in person. So when you heard it was online, what'd you think about that?
Yeah, I was like, oh gosh, I don't know because I'm not great at that. And I'm not always accountable because my job is like, I never know the hours. And I was like, would I be able to do this? Would I be able to commit to it? And it was actually quite a bit easier than I thought.
What was like your biggest takeaway?
My biggest takeaway was, I don't know how to say it. It's almost like a switch was flipped, where it's on or off. And it's like that switch just got flipped for me, where it was like, you can do this. Like you have your power. Your power is with you. And it just brought it out. And it just made me realize like that it wasn't that difficult. And I was committing, to myself and to my health. And it just did it for me. It just flipped that switch and gave me my power back. It really did, to enable me to do everything, to control my portions, stick to my vegetarian diet, to get my 12,000 steps in a day. It just gave me that power back.
That's awesome. And what were your results over your 10 days
Oh my gosh.
or
Like,
after?
oh, it's been incredible. Like, I've lost 24 and a half pounds. And I think it's now for me, I'm not sure where I'm at, like 9 weeks or 10 weeks.
Yeah.
I'm somewhere around there. So close to 25 pounds. But what I love is the exercise and working out has reshaped my body.
Yeah.
And I'm extremely strong. Like I do hill climbing now, which before I was like, I can't even walk down the street hardly without huffing and puffing. And now I'm hill climbing these giant hills, and my legs are just so strong, and the reshaping is like, yeah. And I will tell you, like, I have a lot of injuries. I played sports, and at this age I now have so many injuries that no matter what the exercises are, like I'll just modify them, to do what I can actually do and be able to do. And I
Right.
still get strong, and the workouts make me feel better because I know I'm burning those calories. I know that I'm sweating it out, and I feel great when I, sweat these things out. And it helps with me, I'm like, okay, so you've maybe just burned 300, 400 calories. So you're ahead so far today because you did these things. And even if I can't exercise 100%, then I know I at least did something. And I know I at least worked towards making myself better every single day.
Right. And you did it as a vegetarian. That's awesome.
That's crazy for me. You don't even know how crazy that is. I mean, I was born in Texas, and I love meat. I smell grease and I'm like, ooh, smells like home, like I love fried food. I love meat. So going vegetarian was crazy. And the reason I did it was because my cholesterol was off the charts. And the big takeaway is I committed to this program. My cholesterol went from 350 to 230 in 8 weeks. It was shocking. The doctor when I went in, it was so insane that it put an error code up on the computer and it said, this can't be right. This person's lost more than 10% of their body weight since their last visit.
That's
And the girl,
awesome.
the nurse was like, yeah, she was laughing. She's like, look, the computer says there's an error that you can't lose that much weight in that, amount of time. She's like, it wants me to correct that.
Wow. And so how does it feel to be 24 pounds lighter? Like, how does that feel?
It's crazy. It's like
Mhm.
is to walk down the street, like it feels like a different body. Like, just I go out to walk, get my exercise in or walk up the stairs and I'm like, I feel like a different body. It's like you've just dumped, like I will pick something up like a load of laundry or I'll pick up some weights and I'll be like, this is how much weight I lost. I'll pick up my barbell and go, I lost this much weight.
Are
Like
your
this is
clothes
not
fitting better?
yeah, I'm like, this is not
Of course.
stressing my heart. This is not stressing my,
That's what it's all
my
about.
lungs, it's crazy amount of weight. But the other great thing is because of all my injuries, I have a lot of pain. I have herniated disc. I have, arthritis in my feet. I have nerve damage. So I was in a lot of pain prior to starting all this and losing weight. And I'm in so much less pain now. I mean, I still have a little pain, but like the pain relief is amazing as well. And I'm so like, I'm happy. I dance around the house. I jump. I didn't jump before. I didn't dance around, I have so much more energy. I have a lot more clarity. I just feel amazing.
You created an environment for your body to heal
It's
through
truly,
food and through movement. It's incredible what you can do.
yeah, it's truly amazing. Like how the body responds so quickly when you give it the proper nutrition and exercise,
You're
and I'm not,
amazing. You're amazing, and you put in all that work, and it was just great to be part of this experience with you. You really, were an inspiration to a lot of people, and the way that you guys all fed off each other was freaking awesome. And I just
yeah.
sat back, I would kind of guide it, and then I would just sit back and watch and see people just keep progressing. So let me ask you this. What would you say to somebody who is sitting on the fence or who's thinking about doing something like that, or who was where you were at before, but they're just, not sure or, skeptical maybe? What would you say to them?
Or I would just say, don't hesitate. Don't let your anxiety or your fear hold you back. There's so many ways to modify what you do, and there's so many ways to succeed every day. Even if you change one bad habit, you've succeeded like each day, and you add a layer each day that you do something better for yourself. Or, just walking around the block is an achievement. Just giving up one fat food meal, is an achievement. So